Hello and welcome to Game of Box Office. Today we will analyze the box office performance of Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 was released on May 3rd, 2013 in 4,253 cinemas and ran a total of 133 days until September 12th, 2013. The movie was produced by Buena Vista and Marvel with a budget of $200 million and was rated PG-13. On its opening weekend, it made $174.1 million and it finished its run at $409 million in the USA and Canada. In addition, Iron Man 3 grossed $806.4 million overseas, which results in a combined total of $1.2 billion. Iron Man 3 was the first Marvel Universe movie released after The Avengers in 2012, and thus the first riding the wave of success The Avengers brought financially. Many experts were uncertain how high the revenue of Iron Man 3 would actually rise. Iron Man had already been a strong franchise without the Avengers. We analyzed the first Iron Man movie in a previous analysis and rated it an A-. As mentioned in this analysis, Iron Man made $585 million worldwide, 318 million of which were in the United States and Canada. 2 years later, Iron Man 2 followed up with a global revenue of $624 million and slightly lower domestic revenue of $312 million. The just very slight increase in total revenue compared to the first part is due to the fact that the second part lacked much in quality compared to Iron Man 1. And thus The Move, as well as The Dark Knight Rises and Star Trek Into Darkness, only managed to beat their predecessor because of the growing international market and the resulting higher overseas numbers. However, Iron Man 3 was released after 2012. That year, the genre of comic book adaptations was driven to new heights by the release of The Avengers and The Dark Knight Rises just in 1 year. Iron Man 3 opened to $174 million, which is $46 million or 35.9% more than Iron Man 2. The total gross of $409 million in the USA and Canada puts the movie about $97 million or 30.9% above Iron Man 2. With the overseas revenue of $806.4 million, Iron Man 3 is $495 million above Iron Man 2, surpassing it by an incredible 158.5%. The 35.9% and 30.9% gains are actually quite high. Although such jumps are often seen in franchises that are not as big, for a movie that has already had 2 parts make more than $300 million in the States, to see such an increase in revenue is extremely rare. But the really crazy thing here are of course the overseas numbers of Iron Man 3, which basically exploded to such a degree that even most experts were took by surprise. This increase of $495 million can certainly not be credited solely to the growing of the international market. The Avengers has been a support to all the solo hero movies and Iron Man 3 is the best example. It should also be mentioned that third parts usually tend to experience a worse run than their predecessors. In almost 90% of all movie series that is the case. In other words, such a leap in such a big franchise is even more remarkable. So what can we say in conclusion about Iron Man 3? The sheer numbers are tremendously good across the board. The movie had a few weekend drops of over 50%, which are, however, acceptable considering the size of such a blockbuster. It regrossed more than 6 times its budget and the multiplier of 2.35 is not good but not bad either. The Game of Box Office team rates Iron Man 3 with the grade B+. Our next video will be an analysis about The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, Slumdog Millionaire, or a profile about J.J. Abrams. We hope you enjoyed this analysis. Be sure to hit a like and subscribe to our channel. You can also support us on the social networks listed below. See you soon, bye bye.